This is the Dells Dam!
Okay, this energy source is renewable because when it rains, it fills up Dells Pond, so the dam can continue to filter water out to produce energy. The pros and cons of a hydroelectric dam is the energy source is renewable. Since it's all water, there's really no pollution left in it. Once it is built, there's no costs really to keeping it up, except for that you only have to hire one worker, which is another pro. Sorry. Okay, some cons: it changes the river's appearance. It can affect the local aquatic life. It changes the water temperature, and the general cost to build it is really big. Because the water's motion is powering the generators, there's not much pollution, except for sometimes methane gases are released.
So, how much did the dam cost to build? Do you know?
That's a good question. I don't have those numbers readily available.
Do you know how much the dam powers or what it powers?
And the Dells is roughly a 12 megawatt plant.
Okay.
And a rule of thumb is that 1 megawatt can power roughly 1,000 homes. Not as accurate as it used to be. 1 megawatt, I don't have the latest, but it might be a little more accurate to say it. 1 megawatt might be closer to maybe 800 homes today.
Does the dam just power homes, or is there also other things as well that it powers?
Well, generally, because it's not a very large plant, it's not like the power specifically going to a certain home in Eau Claire or a certain business. It generally feeds the overall power grid, and from there, that electricity is distributed.
Do you know if the dam had any effect on the local habitats after it was built?
Well, most of the dams, across the country were built anywhere from, 50, 60, 80 years ago, in cases even 100 years ago. And back then, there wasn't much for environmental concerns when these dams were originally constructed. However, most of our dams with Xcel Energy are federally licensed, including the Dells Hydro. And the federal license, in order to obtain that license, we have to negotiate over several years with resource agencies like the DNR and the Fish and Wildlife Service.
Do you think global warming has affected or will affect the dam?
Down the road, it could, if what they're saying about global warming is true. If precipitation patterns change, it's possible that we get less rain in Wisconsin and the rivers would be lower, and we possibly could generate less electricity. But again, that's at this point in time, there's still a lot of debate among scientists of how much global warming is going on and how much humans are causing it, and really what are the impacts. But so it's a very good question, but it's very good for discussion. But no matter who you talk to, you'll probably get a little bit different answer on how global warming is impacting the earth and industries like hydro generation.
Is there any chance of the dam affecting the community badly, I guess? Is it dangerous? Could it flood?
Or even to the workers, too? Is it a dangerous job for the workers?
We can actually remotely control the operation of most of our dams remotely. So from a safety factor, we take all the necessary precautions when the operator's on site. They wear all the necessary protective equipment when they need to. But as opposed to the old days when you maybe had 6, 7, 8 people at a dam around the clock, with today's technology and most dams can be remotely operated, and you basically just need 1 or maybe 2 people there just on an occasional basis to make sure things are running smoothly. So that's, I guess, the answer to the first part of your question. As for safety, to the community, like I said, our dams are federally licensed, and we're also under federal regulation on how we maintain our dams. And so we have annual inspections of all our facilities, and we have a more significant inspection done approximately every 5 years at our dams. So we have protocol that we go through where we monitor the dams, and we have instrumentation that looks for hazard situations. So we have a very strong program here,